Welcome to Lost in the sat nav in the lakes. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, and today there's going to be a bit of this, a bit of this. I think I need a haircut, and a bit of this. Could this be the top? Right, so we're up Newlands Valley here, as you can see in the background. It's raining again. It's the last day of January, actually, 31st of January, and the weather's supposed to calm down a little bit, as opposed to wind and things like that. But at the moment, we got rain. Where I'm at, it's still raining, but it might clear off a bit. But yeah, look at my hair. I think I need a haircut, But I've been so busy doing other stuff that haircuts have to stay. Plus it's nice to have a bit of a fleece in winter, isn't it? Tonight I'm going up, what's it called again? High Crag. There's quite a lot of high crags in Cumbria, but this one is down Newlands Valley. On OS, there's no maps to it. All there is just a sheepfold. I've looked at this place from on top of Maiden Moor, from up when I camped on top of Cat Bells. I think I even mentioned it, that I wanted to go up there. And I had two ways of thinking of getting up. One was just going straight up there, but looking at it, I think we're going to go the long way. So this is the path I'm taking. Parked down in a little town down there. There's a little car park in the barn there, it's £5 all day. Yes, I'm going up to this place here, which I've filmed before, a few times actually. The mining works, but I'm going to try and look for a path over to the right. Now there is what looks like something that could clamber up there, but it's looking pretty steep and it's late on, so I think I'm going to go up the valley and then take a right. So yeah, I've had this one up a few times. I was going to go up in summer, but every time summer comes and there's a nice day, you want to get up high in the fells, and this is quite a sort of low down one, so it's mainly for winter, these sort of low ones. But yeah, I'm just sort of looking for any sheep tracks. I said there's nothing on OS. There's nothing on Talkie Toaster maps either. Of how to get there. I have put in a route, but it's taking me like almost all the way up to the top of Maiden Moor, then back down. But looking at these contours, I reckon I can get from here and sort of come round, and that'll get me onto the top of High Crags where I want to be. So I think pretty much when you go up here, just there, oh, there we go, zoom in a bit, there's a path sort of leading to nothing that kind of contours along, and then if we follow that contour, we should be able to get up to this point here. The sheepfold's back here. I want to try and get over here where it looks really level. So this is the fork in the path. I'm going off right. That one takes you back down to Cat Bells, and that's Cat Bells there. Looking quite spectacular today. As I say, it's going to be sunset in about half an hour, so we should give us about an hour of light to get up there. Now this was the other way. I was thinking going up there that way, but with it being wet, potentially slippy. I mean, I've got my Equilibrium ST boots on, the Sportivas. So they're nice and grippy, but I just think there'll be an easier way doing that, what I've just said. Funnily enough, I haven't seen anyone yet. Normally, because you know, you've got Cat Bells, I know this is the quiet side, but you would see one or two people, but you can see right down the valley there. I've come from that way. I haven't seen a soul. So unless there's someone camping up on the top there, but we might not even see them, because I think we're going to go off to the right up this where this waterfall is. Right, getting a little bit darker now. I'm climbing up this quarry mining's down there, but look how misty and horrible it is today. So we've had the odd flashing of blue sky, and this camera's really good at picking it up. It almost gives it a false positive. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't go up there. I mean, there is a point you could probably sort of traverse up and camp on top of there, but I think I'm going to go a little bit higher. Right, the rain started again, but we are out of the prevailing wind, or the wind that's coming from the east now. Up on the top set, it's going to be 30-35 mile an hour, so I'm going to have to try and sort of find somewhere to shade, because I'm in the Hilleberg Enan, which is again a lightweight tent, good for winds up to about 30-35, but I'd much rather, if I can get shelter, it's a much nicer tent when there's no wind, because it doesn't collapse in on itself. It tends to sort of squeeze the sides, and I've had it where my knees are touching the side of the tent. But it's 1.8 kilos lighter than the Solo, so you'd expect that. But also it's nicer to carry, it's quicker to put up, and it's my go-to if I can get away with it. Summertime, I think this will be my only tent I use, unless when I go bikepacking I'll take the MSR, because that is a bikepacking specific tent. But we'll have to wait and see what the weather's like. Obviously they're the same weight, but it's just the MSR packs down shorter. The only thing is it's no good in any wind, so is it worth just dealing with the extra length and taking the Enan? I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. So leading up to it, I'm going to be doing some sort of biking adventures, where I'm taking this tent out that I've got, the Hilleberg Enan, see how it works on the bike compared to walking, because I've only really walked with it. I haven't really had a bikepacking adventure with it. All right, here's the waterfall. Now there is some sort of path. There's a little kind of track, like a sheep track, going off to the right. Let me just check where we're at now. Yeah, we still have to climb a fair bit, and it's that path there that maybe I should take, where I was thinking of going straight up there, but looking at the map here, it's not too much of a diversion to actually go that way and try and find this right hand map. In fact, I think what I'll do, just so I know, I'll go over and I'll change my route so it picks this path up. I don't know which one we're going to go to, but that looks like something. Looks like maybe a cairn there. And it's the bottom of some crags as well, so if you're going up here you want to be below the crags, so let's go for that. Woods it says. So now it's changed, so it takes us off to the right. We might cut off a bit earlier, but yeah, for some reason we've got some trees there. They weren't there before. Right, maybe there's a couple of trees. Let's see, eh? Okay, so rather than going up the right there, we're going to carry on across here. We're going up higher than this, so it should be a bit of an easier crossing when it's further up. And then the path here on this crag, this almost like quarried bit, I would say, it tends to go off to the right, off to the left there, but you can actually go up by the right and to the right of this kind of rocky outcrop, and I think I'll do that, to be honest. I'm getting up higher now. I can actually see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, the top of Maiden Moor there, so I think I only need to be up a little bit higher, potentially just over this brow. So if I go up here and off to the right, there's this boggy ground, which I think should be all right up there. We need to try and cross it before we get over to there. Okay, so we're just coming up to that little rocky bit. I think there might be a path just there, but I'm just kind of following this straight up. The ground's fairly short here, like short grass. So I'm hoping there's going to be a nice path over, but it looks like we go into a bowl here, so it might be quite boggy. So we'll have to see what it's like when we get up there. Okay, so we're on this path now. Very wet and very slippy actually. So we just have to watch ourselves. Thinking of going almost straight ahead there, the path goes up. We'll go up a little bit higher. Just in my experience, where it levels off, you know, if it's wet like this, it's going to be quite boggy as well. That rock looks, yeah, it's like an ice skating rink. Always test rocks before you jump on them. Yeah, I think we're going to have to freestyle this. There is something. There's a lot of sheep up there, round about there, if you can see it. But this is kind of where we want to be on top of here. A mini waterfall. Got some workings here. God, we can almost camp here, it's that level. It's a shame it's too rocky. That's the top of Hall's Gate there. So I think we're going to go a little bit on, and I can see what looks like a path just over there. And this is why I wanted to come up in the light, really, just for a bit of easy navigation. But we're going to follow that sort of grassy point, get a little bit higher, and then we need to be looking at getting across here somehow. A couple of water points just here, so you can see the initial point where I was looking at on maps, and that looks steep as, but this is looking a lot better, and if we can get over to there, that'd be brilliant. Right, we're on a little sheep track here. In summer, I think this will be unwalkable by the looks of all the bracken, but we're going to try and keep on this and go over to that little flat plateau. It doesn't look much on the camera, but we're still looking at about another 500-foot climb, which is about 150, 200 metres. This to me looks like a little boggy path, but should be able to get over that no problem. Almost beeline now. It's got to the point where I don't think it matters. Again, in summertime, this will be pretty bad. Looks to me level ground over there that looks unpassable. Looks so boggy down there. So we're going to keep going. I know I've got to climb high, so maybe climbing up out here, try and keep on the edge of these reeds on the left and just fight through this bracken. So I can see where that path was, where the sat-nav was going to take me, which is quite close to where I'm at now. And lo and behold, there's two trees. So the map was right. It surprises me how much detail sometimes is on this Talkie Toaster map. But we're just kind of going through short reeds and bracken. The ground to me looks all right. There's a few more reeds a bit further higher up. We're on quite a steep slope. Although it's wet ground, I don't think it'd be that boggy, he says. I'm just slowly picking my way through. It's starting to get darker on the camera. Look at that, eh? See down into Bass Lake. Oh, that's nice. This is why I want to go up here. I want to see the views from the top here. From Maiden Moor itself, they're lovely. This is just a different angle. And it is quite a distance, quite a far way off the top of Maiden Moor. So the angle you're going to get is almost pointing directly down Newlands Valley. Just picked up on a little sheep trail here, and I can see some sheep still ahead. It's getting pretty dark now. We should be getting through most of these reeds, and we've got a bit of a climb. But I'm just purposely, as I'm going along, trying to climb as much as possible where I can, so I haven't got anything steep to go up later. To be honest, the closer I'm getting, the better it's looking, to be honest. Sometimes when you're looking at stuff from a distance, oh, there's a tent on the col of Hawes Gate there where I met Niall Brown. That was it, not Liam. Yeah, and it looks like there's a couple as well. A couple of walkers. So yeah, as you look at stuff from distances, it can look really steep. This bit here looks perfect, but I still want to get a bit higher. But I'm just going to sort of climb as much as I can until I have to go straight up. I think this little beck here that you can see is the waterfall down below. It's still running quite. I'll tell you what, let's go up this side here. So we're going to go up the side of this water and then venture off right. It just looks like there's more of a clear path up, and we do have water if we need it. Not much, but look at that cut in the gill there. I wonder if there's even a tarn at the top of here. Looks like there's a wall of some kind up there. This has turned into a spring. The water comes out of the mountain there. So we've got this clear grassy bit. Sheep here on the right. So we're going to go up over here now. Try and find a spot. Right, this grass is getting shorter as we're getting higher up out of the bracken fields. I can hear people over Cat Bell's Way. It's amazing how much you can hear. I haven't seen a light yet, but it is still dark enough. Right, we're on tops. So the nice to have will be up there. But I'm just going to have a little scout around. Here there's some level places. It's getting really dark. The odd rock that looks like a tent as well. But I'll be really surprised if I find anyone up here. You know, it's so off the beaten track. But such a pinnacle as well. I think over here I might get a view up Newlands Valley, sort of towards Hinesgarth. Perhaps on this little spot here. This place is bigger than I thought. I was looking at that bit there, not Cat Bell's behind it, but thinking that was going to be the end or the outcrop, but it's way down there. So we're going to have to get a bit of a move on, eh? So if we can see what we can see. Okay, so we've got a little tarn down there. We've got this little really old sheep pen. Let's see if it's got any. Yeah, it's got some old wood in it. But yeah, so I've got my head torch on now as well, just because it's starting to get a little bit darker. But yeah, we've got ourselves a little tarn. We're gonna come around this high point and then go over to there. Okay, so we're coming up to what looks like a cairn or just a rocky bit. Could this be the top? Yeah, I think it is. Right, so there's a few spots backwards, so that looks like more like a man-made cairn there. So there's a few spots down here out of the wind that we can go. I think we're going to carry on a little bit further, just down here. I think maybe off the front, because the wind's pretty much coming in from the back there. But this bit here is solid, so I'd imagine, looking at where the reeds go, this will go down this way, so the runoff, so we've got this bit here and it's totally Look at this, you're covered, out of the wind. I can have my tent whichever way I want. So yeah, it's always worth that little battle just to get. Look at the view we're going to get as well. Let's knock that off. Look at that, eh? Dark and mysterious, but it looks cool. We're not going to be venturing down there. That's the other point down at that bottom there. I think we're going to go here, out of the wind. Completely dark now, so yeah, just here. Right, somewhere here. So put my sat nav down next to my camera. I think we're going to go. Let's go a little bit lower and have a look. So yeah, I think here-ish.
Boots in the heather, map in your teeth, laughing at the weather rolling in from the east. Backpack leaning on a mossy stone. You say, we'll call this campsite our borrowed home. Pitching up a tent on the shoulder of the fell. Clouds hanging low like secrets we won't tell. Hands cold, hearts warm, breath a little white. Building up a shelter in the fading light. If the wind comes hard, we'll pull those guy lines tight. In our little greenhouse on the hillside tonight. Peg bag open, count them twice. I'm wrestling with the fabric in the bracken and the light. Sheep stare chewing like they've seen it all before. You zip the porch and grin, that's what this day was for. Pitching up a tent on the shoulder of the fell. Clouds hanging low like secrets we won't tell. Hands cold, hearts warm, breath a little white. Building up a shelter in the fading light. If the wind comes hard, we'll pull those guy lines tight. In our little greenhouse on the hillside tonight. Kettle on the burner, steam against your face. Oh yeah, we trace out distant ridges like lines we'll someday chase. You say, remember this, when the weeks turn gray, just us and this bright canvas holding back the day. Pitching up a tent on the shoulder of the fell. Clouds hanging low like secrets we won't tell. Hands cold, hearts warm, breath a little white. Building up a shelter in the fading light. If the wind drums soft, let it sing us to sleep. In our little greenhouse where the hill holds us deep.